the GAU-8 Avenger, a name that resonates with awe and respect in military circles. Revered as one of the most formidable machine guns ever created, it possesses the raw power to turn armored vehicles into mere scraps of metal. This video delves deep into the legend of the GAU-8 Avenger, tracing its origins, design, and the sheer magnitude of its capabilities. Strap in as we embark on a journey exploring the intricacies of a weapon that redefined aerial firepower. Introduction to the GAU-8 Avenger. When it comes to sheer firepower and capability, few weapons in the world can match the prowess of the GAU-8 Avenger. Born out of a necessity to counter the increasingly sophisticated armored forces of adversaries, this Goliath of a machine gun stands as a testament to American engineering and the drive to maintain aerial superiority. Weighing in at a colossal 281 kilograms and stretching over 6 meters in length, the GAU-8 is not your typical firearm. It's a behemoth, specifically designed for the A-10 Thunderbolt II aircraft. The aircraft itself, known informally as the Warthog, was actually built around this gun, highlighting the Avenger's primary role and importance. The origins of the GAU-8 are rooted in the geopolitical scenario of the 1970s. The Cold War was at its height, and the United States found itself in an arms race with the Soviet Union. The Soviets boasted a formidable array of armored vehicles, which presented a significant challenge on the battlefield. The U.S. needed a weapon, not just to counter this threat, but to effectively neutralize it, and thus, the concept of the GAU-8 Avenger was born. Beyond its impressive technical specifications, what truly sets the GAU-8 Avenger apart is its reputation. Talk to any veteran who's seen it in action, and they'll regale tales of its unmatched prowess in the battlefield. It's a sound, they say, that once heard is never forgotten, the thunderous roar of the Avenger spitting out its deadly projectiles, and the consequent devastation it brings. Its capacity for destruction is further accentuated by its precision. The Avenger wasn't just about raw power, it was about delivering that power with pinpoint accuracy. The advanced targeting systems of the A-10 aircraft, combined with the Avenger's design, ensured that it could strike with deadly precision, minimizing collateral damage while maximizing enemy casualties. The GAU-8 Avenger is more than just a machine gun. It's a symbol of aerial dominance, a masterpiece of engineering, and a testament to the lengths nations will go to ensure their security and superiority in the modern age of warfare. Invitation to a game of survival. Imagine for a moment a vast, desolate battleground. The horizon is painted with the outlines of trenches, tanks, helicopters, and aircraft, all meticulously designed for survival, evasion, and combat. These are the heavyweights of modern warfare, representing the zenith of human engineering and strategic acumen. Yet in this scenario, they face a singular, terrifying challenge: surviving the unyielding onslaught of the GAU-8 Avenger. This isn't merely a hypothetical situation for dramatic flair, it's an invitation to understand the sheer force of the GAU-8 in a game of survival. When pitted against the Avenger, would these modern marvels of warfare stand firm or crumble under its punishing firepower? At the heart of this hypothetical lies the backdrop of the Cold War. The late 20th century was characterized by a silent, looming dread as the superpowers of the world, chiefly the United States and the Soviet Union, bolstered their arsenals and strategized for dominance. The Soviets, with their vast fleet of tanks and armored vehicles, posed a monumental challenge. The GAU-8 Avenger emerged as America's answer to this mechanized threat. Consider the trenches, often seen as the frontline defenses in many wars. Traditionally, they offer protection against enemy fire, hiding soldiers from direct line-of-sight attacks. Yet, against the GAU-8, their efficacy is brought into question. The Avenger's 30mm rounds, designed for maximum penetration, could potentially decimate fortified positions, rendering the age-old strategy of trench warfare almost obsolete. The skies aren't safe either. Helicopters, with their agility and rapid response capabilities, play a critical role in modern warfare. But in our game of survival, their aerial advantage might be nullified by the Avenger's precision targeting. A single well-placed burst from the GAU-8 could cripple a helicopter, turning a once formidable airborne asset into a falling wreck. Finally, the aircraft. Faster, and often at higher altitudes than helicopters, they might seem initially out of the Avenger's reach. But the A-10 Thunderbolt II, the primary platform for the GAU-8, is an adept hunter. With advanced avionics and the deadly firepower of the Avenger at its disposal, it could potentially pose a threat even to swift aircraft, especially if caught off guard or during takeoff and landing phases. So where does that leave us in our game of survival? It paints a daunting picture of a weapon system that has an answer for almost every conventional defensive strategy. This isn't just about raw firepower, it's about the GAU-8's capacity to redefine battlefields, challenge established norms, and pose the ultimate test of survival for the adversaries. The GAU-8 Avenger doesn't just participate in the game of survival. It commands it. It sets the rules, changes the dynamics, and forces every player, regardless of their strength or strategy, to reckon with its unparalleled power. Birth of the GAU-8 Avenger. The Cold War era, marked by an intense rivalry between the US and the Soviet Union, saw an explosive proliferation in advanced weaponry. As both superpowers sought dominance, one weapon emerged from the American side that would come to epitomize airborne power: the GAU-8 Avenger. The late 1960s and early 1970s were a time of significant military introspection for the US. The Soviet Union had amassed an extensive fleet of armored vehicles, notably tanks, that posed a daunting challenge on the potential battlefields of Europe. Traditional anti-armor munitions and strategies were quickly becoming obsolete, prompting the need for a revolutionary solution. Enter the GAU-8 Avenger. Initiated in 1970 and entering formal development in 1972, this project aimed to produce a rotary cannon unlike any before. The design vision was clear: a gun capable of firing large-caliber rounds at high rates, primarily to neutralize enemy armored threats. The design process itself was a marvel of ingenuity, with engineers grappling with multiple challenges, including crafting a weapon that could maintain structural integrity while unleashing torrents of devastating firepower. Stretching over 6 meters in length, the GAU-8, when placed horizontally, is comparable to a car in size. This gargantuan stature was necessitated by its mission to house large-caliber 30mm rounds, designed for maximum armor penetration. In the annals of military aviation, it's rare to find an aircraft designed around a gun. Yet that's precisely the story of the A-10 Thunderbolt II. Recognizing the potential and sheer power of the GAU-8, military planners realized that such a weapon required a dedicated platform. The aircraft couldn't be just a carrier. It needed to be an extension of the gun itself, capable of delivering its firepower with pinpoint accuracy. The A-10, affectionately nicknamed the Warthog, was designed to be rugged, survivable, and above all, an efficient delivery system for the GAU-8's firepower. The aircraft's straight-wing design allowed for stable, slow flight perfect for targeting armored columns. Furthermore, the Warthog featured reinforced armor, ensuring that it could take damage and continue its mission. The placement of the Avenger in the aircraft's nose was strategic, allowing pilots to direct the gun's fire with extreme precision. The very existence of the GAU-8 Avenger was, and remains, a strategic statement. By integrating such a formidable weapon into their airborne arsenal, the US wasn't merely countering the Soviet armored threat. They were sending a clear message of dominance. The combination of the GAU-8 and the A-10 signified a new era of close air support. Ground forces now had a guardian angel, a flying fortress capable of decimating enemy armored columns. This wasn't just about tactical advantage, it was about reshaping the dynamics of the battlefield. The GAU-8 Avenger's birth is a testament to innovation under pressure. Faced with a formidable challenge, engineers, strategists, and military planners came together to create a weapon that not only met the challenge, but set a new benchmark in aerial firepower. The Avenger, backed by the Warthog, would go on to become an iconic duo in modern military history, proving that when innovation meets necessity, legends are born, devastating penetration power. The essence of a weapon is not just in its design or the technology that drives it, but in the projectiles it releases. The GAU-8 Avenger, for all its design prowess and historical significance, would be a mere footnote without its distinctive ammunition. The 30mm rounds, tailor-made for the Avenger, are the true harbingers of devastation, and their potency can be best understood by delving deep into their specifications, comparisons, and impacts. The GAU-8 Avenger's ammunition is a sight to behold. Designed with one primary purpose, to pierce through armor, these rounds are golden-colored behemoths. Weighing substantially more than standard bullets, each round is designed to maintain its trajectory even in adverse conditions, ensuring consistent impact. The unique mix of materials in its composition, including depleted uranium in some variants, further enhances its armor-penetrating capability. Upon impact, these rounds not only pierce the target but also generate a significant amount of heat, leading to secondary internal damage, often setting the target ablaze. Comparing the Avenger's 30mm rounds with other weapon systems further underscores their dominance. Take, for instance, the Denel NTW-20, an anti-material rifle renowned for its power. While the NTW-20 can pierce through armor and fortified positions, its rate of fire and ammunition capacity are no match for the GAU-8. Whereas the NTW-20 might incapacitate a vehicle or create a breach in a fortified wall, the Avenger, with its rapid-fire capability, can turn these structures into rubble in mere moments. There's also a subtler aspect to the Avenger's impact. The very knowledge that such a weapon is in the arsenal of the adversary often pushes enemy forces to reconsider their strategies. Traditional tank formations, for instance, become vulnerable. Armored advances need to be more cautious, often at the expense of tactical speed. Defensive structures need constant reinforcement, diverting resources from other vital areas. In many ways, the Avenger's mere presence on the battlefield is a game-changer. However, it's essential to understand that while the GAU-8 is incredibly potent, no weapon is without its limitations. Modern armored vehicles, especially those designed post-Cold War, incorporate advanced materials and designs to withstand various threats. While the Avenger remains a formidable force, it's not an absolute guarantee against all adversaries, especially those that are continually evolving their defensive technologies. The GAU-8 Avenger's penetration power is a confluence of design, ammunition, and strategy. It's a reminder that in the world of military technology, innovation is a constant endeavor. The Avenger, with its 30mm rounds, has set a benchmark, challenging others to match or surpass its devastating might. The GAU-8's feeding mechanism. The GAU-8 Avenger's staggering firepower is undoubtedly attributed to its ammunition and engineering. But the consistent, relentless rain of 30mm rounds it showers on targets is a feat made possible by its intricately designed feeding mechanism. The anatomy of this system and its nuances reveal an innovation that's both groundbreaking and a testament to the Avenger's position as one of the most advanced weapons of its kind. At the heart of the GAU-8's feeding mechanism is a massive drum, not unlike a colossal magazine, designed to store and feed the large 30mm rounds to the Avenger's firing chamber. Given the weapon's rate of fire, which eclipses 4,000 rounds per minute, this drum needs to operate seamlessly to ensure that every split second sees a bullet chambered, fired, and replaced without malfunction. The feeding system's efficiency is primarily attributed to its Gatling-inspired design. Richard Gatling's 19th century invention was a breakthrough, a multi-barreled, mechanically driven gun that could achieve a higher rate of fire than any of its contemporaries. The GAU-8 takes this concept to new heights. With its multiple barrels, the Avenger reduces the stress on each individual barrel, ensuring that they remain relatively cool and don't warp or malfunction from excessive heat. This system not only allows the GAU-8 to maintain its formidable rate of fire, but also significantly extends the weapon's operational life. The advantages of such a system are manifold. Firstly, the sheer volume of fire means that the Avenger can saturate a target area in moments. This capability is vital when engaging fast-moving targets or when needing to quickly neutralize a threat. Secondly, the The consistent rate of fire minimizes the chances of enemy combatants finding gaps in the gunfire to retaliate or move. The Avenger, when in operation, creates a near-continuous wall of metal, deterring any adversaries in its path. But beyond the tactical advantages, the Avenger's feeding mechanism also holds strategic value. An enemy aware of the Avenger's capabilities would think twice before deploying assets in its way. A single A-10 aircraft armed with a GAU-8 can be a significant deterrent, stalling advances and forcing adversaries to reconsider their strategies. Yet, with all its advancements, the Avenger's feeding mechanism is also a testament to the challenges of weapon design. Crafting a system that can consistently feed large-caliber rounds at such an astounding rate without malfunction and in the heat of combat is an engineering marvel. Every component, from the electric motor driving the drum to the intricacies of the chambering mechanism, must operate flawlessly, lest it compromise the weapon's efficiency. The GAU-8 Avenger is not just a weapon, but a symphony of synchronized components working in harmony. Its feeding mechanism, inspired by designs from over a century ago, showcases how historical innovations can be melded with modern engineering to create something truly formidable. Factors influencing destruction. The GAU-8 Avenger's impressive reputation as a destroyer of armored behemoths doesn't solely reside in its rate of fire or its multi-barrel design. The devastation it imparts upon its targets is shaped by numerous factors, each playing a pivotal role in maximizing the weapon's lethal potency. From the ammo it uses to the meticulous maintenance routines, each element can be the difference between a close miss and a catastrophic hit. Ammo type. The GAU-8 Avenger predominantly fires 30mm rounds, but within this classification, various types of ammunition can be loaded, depending on the intended target. Armor-piercing incendiary API rounds designed to penetrate thick armored plating and ignite what's inside are ideal for armored vehicles. High-explosive incendiary HEI rounds are more suited for softer targets, producing lethal shrapnel upon impact. The choice of ammunition can significantly alter the damage profile of the Avenger, tailoring its firepower to the specific challenges of the battlefield. Maintenance. Like any advanced machinery, the Avenger requires meticulous care. A weapon system that isn't properly maintained can experience reduced performance, including decreased accuracy, misfires, or jams. The sheer speed at which the Avenger operates means even a small misalignment or wear can affect its performance. Regular maintenance, therefore, ensures that the Avenger operates at peak efficiency, translating into maximum destruction upon its targets. Angle of impact. The angle at which a projectile hits its target, especially armored ones, greatly influences penetration and resultant damage. A round striking a tank's armor at a 90-degree angle has the best chance of penetration. Conversely, rounds hitting at oblique angles are more likely to ricochet or fail to penetrate. Pilots operating the A-10 aircraft, which houses the GAU-8, are trained to approach targets in ways that optimize the Avenger's angle of impact. Targeted areas protection level. Not all parts of a vehicle or fortification offer the same level of protection. Tanks, for instance, often have heavily armored fronts but comparatively weaker top and rear armor. Recognizing and exploiting these vulnerabilities can amplify the Avenger's effectiveness. A round that might be deflected by the frontal armor of a tank might effortlessly penetrate its top or rear sections. Environmental conditions. External factors like weather and altitude can also affect the Avenger's performance. For instance, cold temperatures can influence the propellant's burn rate in the rounds, potentially altering projectile velocity. Similarly, firing at higher altitudes, where the air is thinner, can reduce drag on the rounds, slightly increasing their range and possibly their impact velocity. Distance to target. The further the Avenger's rounds have to travel, the more they're subjected to factors like gravity and air resistance, which can reduce their speed and, by extension, their penetrative power. While the Avenger is devastating at close ranges, pilots must consider these factors during long-range engagements. GAU-8 Avenger in action. For all its engineering brilliance and fearsome reputation, The true measure of any weapon system is how it performs when it's unleashed upon the battlefield. The GAU-8 Avenger has had multiple opportunities to prove its mettle in real-world combat scenarios, and its record of service paints a vivid portrait of its relentless capabilities. The first genuine testament to the Avenger's prowess came during the Gulf War in the early 1990s. The conflict, characterized by large armored formations rolling across the desert, presented the perfect setting for the A-10 Thunderbolt II, affectionately known as the Warthog, and its integral weapon, the GAU-8 Avenger. Facing off against Saddam Hussein's armored divisions, the A-10 and its massive rotary cannon were deployed extensively in tank-busting roles. The Avenger's 30mm rounds tore through Iraqi armored vehicles, including the vaunted T-72 tanks, causing havoc among enemy ranks. Pilots often describe the distinctive sound of the Avenger firing as akin to the growl of an angry god, a noise that soon became synonymous with impending destruction for the Iraqi forces. In the vast expanses of the Iraqi desert, where armored maneuverability was paramount, the Avenger showcased its anti-armor capabilities to dramatic effect. Time and again, A-10 pilots would execute low and slow-flying passes over enemy formations, allowing the Avenger's sustained fire to wreak havoc. The cannon's precision, coupled with its raw power, ensured that enemy tanks, personnel carriers, and even fortified positions were decimated. The Afghanistan conflict, commencing in 2001, provided another backdrop against which the Avenger's might was displayed. In the rugged terrain of Afghanistan, where enemy forces often took refuge in fortified mountain positions, the Avenger was regularly called upon to provide fire support. Here, it wasn't just armored vehicles that felt the Avenger's wrath. Taliban and Al-Qaeda hideouts, cave complexes, and makeshift fortifications were targeted, the Avenger's rounds piercing through layers of rock and earth to neutralize threats. Notably, the A-10s equipped with the Avenger were pivotal during the early stages of Operation Anaconda in 2002, providing much-needed fire support to coalition forces engaged in intense combat in the Shah-i-Kot Valley. Beyond these two major conflicts, the GAU-8 Avenger, mounted on the A-10, has seen service in various other operations worldwide. Its continuous and reliable firing capability makes it a favorite among ground troops, who often regard the A-10 and its Avenger cannon as a guardian angel during heated battles. From rescue missions to precision strikes against enemy convoys, the Avenger's legacy is intertwined with countless tales of battlefield heroics. The GAU-8 Avenger isn't merely an impressive spec sheet or a marvel of engineering. It's a battle-hardened weapon system with a storied combat record. Across deserts and mountains, against tanks and entrenched infantry, in the face of overwhelming odds, the Avenger has consistently lived up to its reputation, solidifying its place in military lore as a true force to be reckoned with. GAU-8 Avenger Beyond Land. The legacy of the GAU-8 Avenger is not limited to the vast expanses of land warfare. As with any system of profound capability, the impetus to adapt and broaden its use is inevitable. The Avenger, with its gargantuan firepower and impeccable precision, naturally attracted interest from military strategists and engineers seeking to utilize it in a naval context. This chapter delves into how the Avenger's prowess transcended land to become a beacon of strength on the high seas. The adaptation of the Avenger for maritime use can be best exemplified through the Goalkeeper Close-In Weapon System, CIUS. The Goalkeeper, a point defense system developed by Thales Nederland, formerly Signal, was specifically designed for naval vessels to counter a wide range of high-speed incoming threats, from missiles to aircraft. At the heart of the Goalkeeper is the GAU-8A, a variant of the Avenger exhibiting the same powerful 30mm caliber rounds and rapid rate of fire. With the combination of an advanced radar system, infrared cameras, and the Avenger's firepower, the Goalkeeper can engage supersonic anti-ship missiles, fast-moving aircraft, and even smaller threats like drones. The precision with which the Goalkeeper operates is remarkable. It can track and annihilate a target the size of a football from several kilometers away, even if it's moving at 3 times the speed of sound. This adaptation for naval warfare wasn't without its challenges. The corrosive maritime environment required special considerations, ensuring that the Avenger's mechanisms remained free from saltwater interference and corrosion. Additionally, the recoil force from the Avenger, while manageable on an aircraft like the A-10, required specialized mounting and shock absorption systems when placed on a ship's deck. The introduction of the Avenger into naval warfare serves as a testament to the weapon's versatility. While the sheer firepower of the Avenger can decimate armored columns on land, its precision makes it invaluable in defending naval vessels from high-speed aerial threats. Ships equipped with systems like the Goalkeeper have a robust defensive capability, ensuring they remain protected in conflict zones where missile attacks are prevalent. But it's not just about raw power. The psychological impact of the Avenger on naval battlefields is palpable. Just as ground troops have come to revere the Avenger's presence in land battles, naval crews find solace in the whirring sound of the Avenger's barrels coming to life. For any potential adversary, the knowledge that a naval vessel is armed with a variant of the world-renowned Avenger rotary cannon can serve as a potent deterrent. In the broader spectrum of modern warfare, the GAU-8 Avenger's adaptation for naval purposes is emblematic of the changing dynamics of conflict. In an era where asymmetrical warfare using drones and high-speed missiles is becoming increasingly common, the Avenger's presence on naval vessels underscores its enduring relevance. The transition of the GAU-8 Avenger from land to sea underscores its adaptability and the faith military experts place in its capabilities. As warfare continues to evolve, with newer threats and challenges, systems like the Avenger will inevitably adapt, ensuring they remain at the forefront of defense technology. Surviving the GAU-8 Avenger. In warfare, survival often hinges on understanding the strengths and weaknesses of your adversary's weaponry. With the GAU-8 Avenger, however, the scales are tipped heavily towards the weapon. But what, if anything, can one do to mitigate its devastating impact? Or is the Avenger's assault truly insurmountable? From a theoretical standpoint, evasion appears to be the most pragmatic approach. Given the Avenger's raw firepower, standing ground against it, whether you're in an armored vehicle, a reinforced structure, or out in the open, is a deadly proposition. If you can't overpower it, the wisdom would be to avoid its line of fire entirely. This means that speed and maneuverability become paramount. However, with the Avenger's firing rate and the vast area its rounds can cover in mere seconds, outpacing it is easier said than done. Terrain exploitation could offer some respite. Using natural cover, such as hills, dunes, or dense forests, might break the line of sight, thereby complicating the targeting process for A-10 pilots. Urban environments, with their maze-like structure of tall buildings and tight alleyways, could similarly pose a challenge for the Avenger. Yet, even these seemingly robust barriers are not fail-safe. The Avenger's rounds, especially when used in a strafing run, can turn structures into rubble, forests into clearings, and fortified positions into debris.